We are live Wednesday night, first Wednesday of December, the K&K Sports Show. Back for another evening full of mostly football tonight. Got some big stuff going on in college football and NFL. Getting near the bottom of the half of the season here, so we're here to talk about it. We're gonna have a fun hour packed show. Uh, get some hellos in. We got Graham backstage. Graham, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing good as a Broncos fan.
Yeah,
10
ten
and
and
2.
two is good, right?
Should
Yeah, ten
be.
and two
10
is
and
nice.
2.
Nice. Yeah. If Paul and I would be happy with just 4 wins as not as
Yeah.
opposed
Right.
to 10, but yeah, 10 and
And
2. You guys are
also
going places. So good,
also
good,
the
good start
Avalanche.
season. Yep. Good. Good start. Let's keep it going for your Broncos. But wearing red, just like me, fellow Giants fan. Paul Rosen's here tonight. Paul, how are we doing?
Good. I got the memo, Kenny. So all good. Good evening, Graham. Good evening, everybody. Great way to start our first show in December. Looking forward to a lot of college football, a lot of NFL. So let's get going.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's December already. Thanksgiving's already passed. We're looking towards Christmas and New Year's already. And as Giant fans, we're already looking to the draft and who our next head coach is going to be. But
We're on
we're
the
not going to talk
clock.
much about Giants tonight. That's for our Monday show. But we got some college football we're going to start it off with. And getting near now, going to have the Heisman Trophy, coming up soon. So Paul's going to talk about the Heisman Trophy with us, and we're going to give you our picks for Heisman Trophy.
Thanks, Kenny. So every year, there's always debate who's going to win the Heisman Trophy. Generally, it's quarterbacks. Once in a while, it's a running back. Hardly ever, it's a defensive player. But with that in mind, let's talk about the players that might be considered for the Heisman this year. And I don't have the odds in front of me, but I believe the two players that are number one and number two with the odds is Justin Sayin, quarterback from Ohio State, and Fernando Mendoza from Indiana U. Of course, number one and number two teams in college football right now. But that being said, I'm going to give you my three choices. They're a little out of the box, but hey, they're my three choices. So I get to pick who I want. So I'll go from three, two, and then one. How's that? So
Sounds
my
good.
third choice, Kenny, is completely out of the box, but there's only one way I can describe this guy, and I'll give you his name, and then I'll tell you who I think he reminds me of. Texas Tech, 11-1 this year, will be in the playoffs, and they have a middle linebacker, Jacob Rodriguez. Some people may have never heard the name, but let me tell you, this kid is going to be, in my opinion, a player. He leads the Texas Tech number one rated defense. He's had 7 forced fumbles, which lead the nation. He's had close to 100 tackles. And you might say, why a linebacker? Well, this kid, his size, in my opinion, doesn't even matter because I'm going to compare him to someone and you're going to say, oh my God, he's a pure football player, meaning he started as a quarterback and played actually in New York with the Fordham Rams football team. Okay. And then he transferred and eventually he wound up at Texas Tech as a linebacker. In my opinion, seeing some of the highlights of this kid, he's like the defensive version of Cam Scatterboo. You don't look at size, you look at his heart. And I think this kid will start off on special teams in the NFL, but mark my words, he's going to be a player in the NFL. He's going to make an impact. And you can't look at him. He's maybe 6'1", maybe 230 pounds, but he's all heart. And he gets my vote as the number 3 Heisman finalist. Number 2, you got to give love to the Indiana Hoosiers. Let's face it, after last year, everyone said, "Oh, it's a farce. There's no way they're never going to do that again." Well, you know what? They got better with the quarterback that they got through the transfer portal, and Fernando Mendoza is right up there, and he conceivably could win the Heisman Trophy. The kid's done it all. He's played against very good teams, beaten everybody. They're undefeated. It wouldn't be a surprise if they beat Ohio State in the championship game in the Big Ten. So Fernando Mendoza is my number 2 selection finalist for the Heisman. And number 1 might be a surprise to some, but listen, I've watched this kid not just this year, the last 2 years. Jeremiah Love, there's nothing not to like. There's everything to love. This kid can do it all. I think he's 4th in rushing in the nation, 3rd in touchdowns, total touchdowns scored. He can take it the distance from any part of the field. You might remember last year the 98-yard touchdown run in the playoff game against Indiana. This year he had a 94-yard touchdown run against Boston College. He has done everything. And the fact that they have another quality back in Jadarian Price, who probably would be a number 1 back in half the country's colleges in the country. So the touches that Jeremiah Love is much more reduced than most running backs in college football, but yet he's been able to produce as much as he has. So in my opinion, I know quarterbacks have won the Heisman most of the time, but Jeremiah Love would be my pick for the Heisman Trophy this year. Interestingly enough, if you go back, Kenny, and I looked at this, starting in 1945, every 5 years, there's a running back that wins the Heisman Trophy. So if you go back, I don't have the list in front of me, but 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 2000, on and on until 2025. The Heisman Trophy winner has been a running back, as bizarre as that is. So those are my 3 selections for Heisman Trophy.
Good selections. I respect your selections. Mine are going to be a little different than yours, which is good. But I want
Yeah.
to get some hellos in first. Let's say hello to Roy Osborne. Stay
Hey,
warm,
Roy.
Roy. Good evening, Kenny and Paul. 12 below here, and now it's football season.
Wow.
It's out there in, I believe, South Dakota or North Dakota, Roy. I always get them confused which one you're from. But stay warm, my friend. Good
Yeah.
friend Ernie Mays saying hello, Kenny K and friends. Go Bronco country. Big Bronco fan, Ernie Mays.
Hey, Ernie.
Roy is also saying he's okay with Mendoza. He's pretty good, but I don't think he's great. And our good friend Michael Ronquito saying good evening, Kenny and Paul, as
Hey, Michael.
well. I'll go 3-1 as well. Mine are all quarterbacks, and I went a little more chalky, believe it or not. And I'm usually the long shot guy, but I went a little chalky. But my number 1 guy is going to be a little long shot. Julian Sayan's going to be my number 3 guy. Big Ten schedule, Ohio State, number 1 team. He came in this year. We didn't know anything about him. Now he's in the running and could very well be the Heisman Trophy winner. 2,832 yards, 27 touchdowns, 4 INTs against a solid Big Ten schedule for most of the year. He's my number 3. My number 2 is Fernando Mendoza. Again, Big Ten, little weak schedule outside the Big Ten, but I'm okay with that because he did play a lot in the Big Ten, and he's going to be in the Big Ten championship on Saturday evening. 2,758 yards, 38 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Very close to Julian Sayin. But my Heisman Trophy winner, if I had to vote, the deciding vote, would be a guy in the SEC, another quarterback by the name of Diego Pavia, Vanderbilt. He put Vanderbilt on the map, just probably on the bubble, just missing the playoffs. They're probably not going to get in. We're going to talk about that in a couple minutes. But They're probably going to just miss. But Paul, his stats 2,927 yards, very similar to Fernando Mendoza and Julian
Hmm.
Sayin. 661 yards rushing, 34 touchdowns, and 6 INTs. So he is right there with the other guys and adds running to where the other two don't add the running as
Hmm.
much. He adds the running. I like the Julian. I like the Jeremiah Love pick, but if Ashton Janty didn't get it last year, I don't think Jeremiah Love's respectfully going to get it with the quarterbacks that are on this list. Jeremiah Love's going to be a top 10 running back in the league, top 10 pick, maybe top 15 in the draft. Nothing against him. If he got it, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think with these three quarterbacks and the seasons they're having, and two of those three going to be in the playoffs, I think they'll favor the quarterback there. So
Yeah.
there's my Heisman picks, your Heisman
Good
picks,
picks.
and
Good
and you had
picks.
some long shots. I like those
Yeah.
long
And your
shot
long
picks.
shot as well. Interestingly enough, just before the show, I was reading Vanderbilt was able to sign a 5-star recruit at quarterback. That was I don't know if he was the number one quarterback in the nation, but Georgia had him as their top quarterback, and he opted to transfer to Vanderbilt. So they stole one from Georgia.
Nice. Kurt should be joining us in a couple minutes, so we'll get into we'll talk about the playoffs. The playoff bracket ranking. Playoff rankings were announced yesterday, the final one before the conference championship games, and I'm just gonna read the teams that are looks like they're locked to be in,
Yeah.
and we'll start. Number one is Ohio State. Number two is Indiana. I think it's going to be a great game to watch. But whoever wins is obviously going to have the one seed. Whoever loses may drop to the 3 or 4. I still think they'll be that good. I still think they're a lock to have one of the top 4 seeds. And you add Georgia, who's playing Alabama, and Texas Tech, who's playing BYU. That's where it's going to get a little more interesting because both of those two teams are going to have to win to keep those top 4 seeds. On the outside, looking in for the bye, Oregon at 5. Ole Miss, who just had a coaching change. We're going to get to that. Texas A&M surprisingly dropped all the way down to number 7. I didn't like that. Oklahoma 8, Alabama 9, Notre Dame 10, and then we'll get into the where it gets complicated with the ACC and the other conferences. But I'm not okay with A&M dropping all the way down to 7. I think they should have been dropped to 5, undefeated, and they lose to a solid Texas team uh, on the road, and they drop them down to 7. I think that was a little harsh for a team that was undefeated all year, Paul.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the committee has had a difficult time, and we'll get into it. Obviously, with your team, with my team specifically, they made some interesting decisions with Alabama this week, with Notre Dame. So add this to the list of head scratchers, and let's put it that way.
Yeah. Our good friend Glenn Ashley in Australia is saying good morning. It's morning time over there. Good
Hey,
morning,
Glenn.
Glenn. Hope all is well your way. He's saying happy Wednesday. Very interesting week of games coming up. Ohio State Buckeyes should get it done, in his opinion, for the 1 seed. And he's saying Georgia Bama is going to be a must watch game
Mm,
as well. 4 o'clock
yeah.
start on the East Coast uh, over here. So definitely a lot riding on that. Uh, Notre Dame at 10, Paul. While we're waiting for Kurt, we'll continue to talk about Notre Dame is the
Yeah.
last team on this list
Yeah.
right now on the bubble. You know,
They were, yeah, if I can just interject, they were ranked ninth, uh, right before this came out, and then they got dropped down. And reading about the decision and the circumstances surrounding why the committee dropped them down to 10 as opposed to keeping them at 9 and maybe Alabama at 10. Just some funky thinking. And I know every year it's an issue, but I mean, let me just say this. I sort of have if I can quickly do this, I have a checklist, the last 4 games comparable, Notre Dame and Alabama. And the funny thing is, we thought it was going to be Notre Dame and your Miami Hurricanes. But now all of a sudden, apparently, in the last 2-3 weeks, Notre Dame and Alabama have gotten the difficult uh, uh, back and forth with the committee. Anyway, last 4 games, Notre Dame beat 9-2 Navy by 39, beat number 22 Pitt on the road by 22, beat Syracuse by 63, and beat 4-8 Stanford by 28 on the road. 10 straight wins, 2 losses against obviously the 2 ranked teams at the beginning of the year. Your Miami Hurricanes by 3 points on the road and 1 point at home against Texas A&M, who at that time was 2 or 3, now ranked number 7. Alabama beat last 4 games 4-8 South Carolina by 7 points, beat 7-5 mediocre LSU by 11, lost at home to Oklahoma, and beat a mediocre or less than mediocre 5-7 Auburn team on the road by 7 points. They were winning by 17, and the game was close. So it's just interesting how the committee decided to drop Notre Dame behind Alabama. Some people have said, well, that way they give Alabama a cushion if they should lose the playoff, the championship game. They'll still make it because they won't fall out of the top 12. Maybe they would fall 1 or 2. I don't know, but that's all speculation as far as anyone's concerned at this point.
Kurt's on the phone. Kurt, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Hey, Kurt.
Let's before I say hello to you, before we get your official hello in, all due respect, Paul, Auburn, LSU, South Carolina would destroy Stanford, Syracuse, and the other team that you played. That's why, in my opinion, I think Alabama's ranked higher than Notre Dame. That when you're talking about the 4-8 teams, LSU versus Stanford, give me LSU 100 out of 100 times. And Auburn over Syracuse 100 out of 100 times. That's just why I think they're 9 and 10 in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough.
Kurt, how you doing, my friend? We're getting into the college football rankings.
First off, I don't care about Notre Dame. I don't care about Alabama. I don't care about college football. Did you see the news today?
No.
Giannis and his agent are going to the Milwaukee Bucks to talk about their future, and it's inevitable he's going to get traded. And as long as it's not, and I'm serious about this, guys, I'm not trying to be funny. As long as it's not Jalen Brunson, the Knicks got to do whatever they got to do. Because if you put Brunson and Giannis together, Paul, me, you, and Kenny could be in that starting lineup, and we're winning the East. And I'm serious. They have to do this. They cannot play games. I don't care if it's Bridges. I don't care. I don't care. I'm 51. We haven't won since 73. That's a long-ass time. And to get this championship, I don't care about 8 years down the road. I really don't. I don't care about next year. Win the title now. Go all in and get Giannis. But sorry, Kenny, for interrupting you about your college football. What's your question?
No problem. No problem. So let's
I'm
ask
just
you this.
fired up about that news.
I'm going to come right in and get.
Let me just say one more thing since Kurt's on the phone. You're at home. You're playing your arch rival. You can't be any better than losing 17-0 at halftime or whatever the hell it was. Your quarterback scored 6 touchdowns against Mercer. Kenny can score 3 touchdowns against Mercer.
No. But
he
they
can't do anything.
Paul, they didn't play Deuce Knight one play in that game.
Why?
Deuce Knight didn't. You're asking me? I don't know. I don't know.
So let's ask
Anyway.
Kurt this question.
All right.
Kurt, does Paul need to be worried come Saturday, or Sunday, I should say, that Notre Dame may not be in the playoffs? BYU's on the outside looking in, they beat Texas Tech and Alabama beats Georgia, should Paul be worried about Notre Dame getting in?
Well, I will say this. I heard a couple people today, Paul Feinbaum and a couple of people, and they make sense. They said as long as Alabama don't lose 48-0, if they lose to Georgia and don't get in the playoff, they said there will never be conference championship games anymore. And they said, honestly, college football just might not be the same. But they said there'll be no more college. You can't penalize a team for losing a conference championship game. And this goes for Miami too. And put a team in that's not in a conference tournament, not in a conference or a championship, and say, well, you go in because they lost. I mean, that's a privilege to get to. And I don't like Alabama, but listen, Alabama's going in before Notre Dame or Miami. I mean, they are. They're in the conference championship. There's no way around. You cannot put any one of those two teams in before them. You can't.
Who was the team last year?
Why play for a conference championship then?
What was it SMU that lost the championship game last year and got in? Got in. So that would be based similarly if that would happen on Saturday with Alabama and Georgia.
Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying Duke or Virginia. Whoever loses that shouldn't get in. No, that's a different story. But, BYU, Texas Tech, the SEC teams, obviously Indiana, Ohio State, those teams are locked in. Alabama will not be out and they shouldn't be out. They're in the SEC championship game, the best conference in football. How could you tell them they're out? And a team that, listen, if another team beats, if say BYU wasn't going to get in and hey, you're a conference champ, but teams that are sitting home, I'm sorry. If you're not playing this weekend, you should not benefit at all. Both teams shouldn't benefit.
Right. Couple comments. Roy's saying, no way Alabama wins the championship. And Glenn was asking over on my end, who's your team, Paul? Paul's a Notre Dame Fighting Irish guy there, Glenn. And
now,
our
Kenny,
other friend out there in Australia. Hold on, Kurt, real quick. Quick. Peter's saying hello. Peter Johnson. What's happening,
Peter?
boys?
Hey, Peter.
A bit late to the party. Glad I got to say what's up to Mr. Valenti and ask him, how about them Broncos, baby? Let's go. But
Kenny, I'm going to say this, and I heard a couple people today, like I said, Paul Feinbaum, and they're saying that, listen, a lot of people think Miami's going to jump Notre Dame because they said that, especially if, I forgot what they were saying, if BYU lost, they were saying then BYU is ahead of Miami, Kenny?
The BYU's 11 right now, yes.
Right. And then, they said if it comes down and Miami jumps BYU, and if they say Notre Dame is ahead, I'm saying if it's Notre Dame and Miami, they're saying that there's just no way they could not put Miami in with the head-to-head. They said they can't do it. They said they can't do it.
But see,
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
The difference. And obviously they lost by 3 points the first game of the year. But the problem with that is you lose to two unranked teams. That should weigh as much as losing head to head, because
I disagree.
No,
I disagree because
I disagree with that.
If you think about it, every sport, when you think about it, it goes by head to head, right? You could say, I'm just throwing this out there. Say the Eagles and the Cowboys are tied for the division championship, right? But the Eagles lost to the Giants. The Eagles lost to this team. If the Eagles beat the Cowboys twice, they're the division champs. They're the better team. So I disagree with that. It's always well, hypothetical. If they did play. And I don't care if it was game one, Miami won. So that game's got to mean something, or why play it?
I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything, but if you're looking at the totality of the whole schedule and the wins plus the power of the strength of schedule, I mean, I think Notre Dame is higher than Miami, I believe.
I'll tell you this. I think both teams, and I'll be honest with you, my opinion, I'm taking Texas over both teams. Texas lost 2 games in the SEC, right? 2 games. And you're going to penalize them for going opening day to Columbus, Ohio? Listen, they beat Notre Dame by 2 touchdowns. They beat Miami by 2 touchdowns. They belong in it before those two. I'm going to be honest. Those teams, Notre Dame is not a playoff team and Miami is not a playoff team. I mean, how do you not get to an ACC championship? That's pathetic. And you know what, Notre Dame, you didn't beat anybody good.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Well, that's the other thing, Kenny. Miami's not even in the ACC championship game. So what's the criteria?
I get that, but neither is Notre Dame
Duke?
in a championship game because
But they don't
have
play
no
it. They don't
statement.
play in a league. They're not in a conference.
I'm going to come after Paul real quick. Who's your statement win this year, Paul?
They beat a ranked USC team. They beat a ranked Pitt team. They
Pitt.
beat
Miami destroyed Pitt. If you want to go resume to resume,
Miami
destroyed
Notre
Pitt
Dame
too.
destroyed Pitt too on the road too.
So there
All right.
comes the head-to-head, but I'm with Kurt. Both should be out.
Well,
Texas could be in.
I'm going to say both should be out, but if you're giving me one, I got to take the team that went head to head. I don't understand how somebody could say, well, it was early. It doesn't matter. They beat you. That's like saying, in all seriousness, that's like saying right now, let's be totally honest, is Miami better than, let me ask you this question, is Miami better than Duke or Virginia?
well, they should be, but they're not because both of them are playing in the championship games.
Right, but what I'm saying is reality they are, right? So, but that's where you can go and say again, because Miami lost to SMU and it doesn't matter. They lost. It's not about when you lost, right? We all know, listen, if Miami was playing Virginia, they'd probably be a touchdown favorite. If they were playing Duke, they might be like a 17-point favorite. But you know what? They didn't get the job done. Notre Dame didn't get the job done. Notre Dame's 2 best games they played this year, they lost both. They did. There's no, I don't want to hear you. USC on the road stinks. Who just beat USC on the road? Every time they go on the road, they never win on the road. So I don't want to hear you say, but the 2 best teams, A&M, statement game, lost at home, couldn't stop them. Miami couldn't stop them. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Auburn lost Auburn lost where they should have won the game, but they didn't win the game, right? It doesn't matter. You lost.
My quick one, Kurt, about Notre Dame. You talked about USC, Paul. You talked about Pitt ranked. Miami beat Florida when they were ranked number 10. And so if you want to go that route, we can go that route too. I'm sorry, Paul. You got to be in a conference championship. You're playing one less game than everybody else.
You've said that for years now. We know. We know. I don't need to hear
the
that.
Boston colleges and the Stanfords and the Army and Navy, all due respect to the armed forces, and the Purdues. You can't keep playing all these bottom teams and just expect to.
Kenny, you can't throw stones at glass houses. I mean, the ACC, aside from Miami and maybe Louisville every other year, what other strong teams? Virginia is never a strong team. Duke has never been a real strong team. I mean, the ACC has never had really
Notre Dame
big.
should go. They're in ACC in basketball.
Well, you know why? Let me tell you why. Because if they get in the playoffs, they're going to make $14 million, and they don't have to divide it among all the ACC teams. That's why. And it all comes down to money.
In my opinion, and that's how.
What's that?
To me, it's a coward way out being independent. That's how I feel and always will feel. Play Alabama in the regular season. Play Michigan. Stop playing Purdue every year and Boston College and Stanford, who are luckily to have 3 or 4 wins every year. You could just chalk those wins on Notre Dame every year.
They play them every other year.
You know the point I'm making. The schedule's weak that Notre Dame has.
I'll say this: the college football has to fix it because I'm going to be honest with you. Vanderbilt's better than Notre Dame. They are.
Come on, Kenny.
They're not.
Kurt. Oh,
they're
stop.
not.
Well, you're a Notre Dame fan. anybody, 10 teams in the
Kurt,
SEC will beat Notre Dame.
there's a lot of things you've said over the years that's the most ridiculous thing.
No, it's not.
Wait,
Vanderbilt is
No,
not better than
I'm with
Notre Dame.
Kurt.
So,
I am with
so wait,
Kurt.
Paul, you think you guys are just going to walk and beat Tennessee and Tennessee? You guys didn't beat anybody as good as Tennessee. They won by 21 points in Tennessee.
Oh man.
You're talking about
And
how
again,
bad
I
Miami
don't want
is,
to hear.
Paul, and
I
Miami
agree
beat
with
you.
Kenny with this. The 70-0. That stuff means nothing to me. That means nothing. Like, it doesn't mean that they beat Syracuse. Who cares? Bergen Catholic in Jersey might beat Syracuse. They're so bad. Who cares? When their 2 games on the line, Miami, they fold. It doesn't matter. I mean, even if they get in, they're not going to win anything. Let's be realistic. They're not going to go anywhere. They're not the best. But here's what college football's program is. It's not the best 12 teams. Texas is one of the best 12 teams in the country. They are flat out. You know it. If that's a neutral game, Florida, Texas, Notre Dame, they're 2 touchdown favorites over Notre Dame. That wouldn't stop Texas.
I
They
think the
wouldn't.
only Kurt, and Kenny, I think the only way that they're going to do this is to expand the playoffs like they did with
And Michael
the
Rumpke
NCAA
will
with
want to do
March
that.
Madness.
But they
That's the
shouldn't
only
do
thing.
it. But you see, that's
But they
why
will.
I've always been against this, and that's why I've said it. I've always been against it. It should be 4, because you know what it should mean? Ohio State and Indiana, the losers out. That's what it should be.
Mhm.
That's what it should be. Georgia, Alabama, the losers out. That game is meaningless. Now think about it. You had 2 undefeated teams, number 1 versus number 2 in the country. 8:00 NBC Saturday night.
Yeah.
People are saying, should they sit their start? I mean, that's a joke.
Yeah, both teams
That's
are
a
going to
joke.
get the bye.
I'm gonna make a prediction to you guys right now. This will be the last year that there will be championship games in any conference, because I think they realize that for talk like that they're going to sit people out because they don't want to get their stars hurt because they're going to be in the playoffs anyway. I'm telling you.
But that's why it shouldn't be. Like, everyone, it shouldn't be, because it's so watered down. Realistically, the 4 best teams, in my opinion, this year, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say, obviously, Ohio State, Indiana. See, like, I'm going to be honest, like, and I'm not a fan of them, but how you have to take Alabama over Georgia. They went into Georgia and beat them. They beat them. You can't say Georgia goes. How? I watched it in Georgia. Nobody goes in Georgia and wins. Alabama did, right? So they would have to be there. And then are you going to say Texas Tech? Like, those should be the 4 bet. That should be the playoffs. Not Notre Dame, not Miami, not the ACC, they shouldn't. I'm sorry. They shouldn't. It should just, those are the 4. It's watered down. And you got like championship weekend, which was a must see. What does it matter now? Honestly, even Georgia, if Alabama beats Georgia, Georgia's still going. So that game's meaningless.
Yeah,
BYU's probably still, I don't know. They might go if Texas Tech loses, they're going. So what do they mean? What does it mean?
That's why I'm saying I wouldn't be shocked if they decide, the powers that be, that there's not going to be any championship games anymore. I'm telling you, and they'll expand in lieu of the championship games. They'll expand the playoffs to 16 or 20 even, or whatever.
Kurt, Paul, I want to get to the comments because I haven't had a chance to say much, and the audience is chiming in. I want to catch up. There's a lot of comments. Roy agrees with Paul. Vanderbilt's not better than Notre Dame. I'm with Kurt.
Thank you, Roy.
Teams are better than Notre Dame. Good friend Patrick saying aloha. What's up, Patrick? Aloha.
Hey,
boys.
Patrick.
Lion Coffee. The holiday needs are here. Go check out Lion Coffee. Best stuff on earth. And I'm not saying that, but go on lioncoffee.com. There's the link in the chat. 10% if you use the code Patrick10. He's saying rant, Kurt, rant.
Yeah,
Glenn has Notre Dame ahead of Miami, and Glenn's also saying that Kurt is fired up.
No, but listen, I'm going to be
We're
honest
all
with you.
fired up about this.
Miami's going to get in, and Miami's going to get in over. Again, I don't think either team. I'm taking Texas over both of them because Texas is better than both of those teams.
I'm with you.
Miami's going to get in over them, and you know what? Notre Dame's going to cry, but you cannot go with a resume and say, "Well, look what we've done." Well, who'd you guys play good? A&M, we lost. Miami, we lost. Who'd you guys beat good? Pitt. I mean, come on, Pitt's good. Pitt. Come on, stop.
All right.
Let's do this
All
real
right.
quick, Kurt. Let's do some picks real quick. I'm going to skip the Lane Kiffin news. That's old news already. Hang around for some picks, Kurt. We got some conference championships this week. I'll let you go first, Kurt. We got the Big 12. It's going to be an early one. I'm sorry. We're going to do Sun Belt because James Madison has a chance to get in. James Madison versus Troy. Rapid fire.
I'm going James Madison.
Paul?
James Madison.
I'm with you. AAC. Athletic Conference, you know, me with Cincinnati a few years ago. Number 20 Tulane versus number 24 North Texas. Paul, I'll go to you first.
It should be a good game, but I'm going to go with the Green Wave.
I'm going to go North Texas. I think they're having a special year. Kurt.
I'm taking Tulane. Coach is staying. He left, but he's staying to coach the playoffs, the conference. I'm staying. I'm keeping. I'm going with Tulane.
And the last of the undercards, and keep an eye out. If Duke beats Virginia, what happens in the ACC? We're going to see, because a 5-loss Duke team, I don't think will be in the playoff. But Mountain West, an outside chance. UNLV and Boise State, Kurt.
Boise at home.
I'm with you, the blue field. Paul.
Sweep the field with Boise.
All right, let's get to the big ones now. Big 12. Number 11, BYU at number 4, Texas Tech, Paul.
I got to root for Texas Tech. I told you about the defense earlier. Got to go with the Red Raiders.
I'm with you. That team is pretty solid this year. They want the bye. They win. They get the bye, and they knock their rival BYU out. Kurt.
I saw them go into Utah and just physically beat up Utah earlier in the year. I'm going Texas. Their defense is legit.
Let's talk about 4 o'clock game. The SEC, Kurt's neck of the woods. Georgia versus Alabama, Kurt.
I'm going to go Georgia.
And Alabama's still in, you're saying?
Yes, they have to be in. You can't go to an SEC championship game and not be in.
That's fair. I just wanted to get that on the air. I'm with you. I think Georgia beats Alabama, but close. I think it's going to be a real close game. Paul.
Georgia will win, and I hope they kick the crap. And I want to use a different word out of Alabama.
I would be happy. I wouldn't mind that. ACC, Kurt. Duke. You better pick Virginia. Duke versus your wife, Jenny Hoops. Virginia Cavaliers in the ACC championship.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Jenny Hoops, man. I'm rooting for Jenny Hoops. I like their quarterback. I gotta tell you, I think Tony Elliott, Kenny, I said this to you the other day. I think Tony Elliott has done a fantastic, from almost getting fired. He had a tragedy when he was the head coach over there, and he turned that around. Listen, I'm going UV. I'm rooting for UVA too, for Jenny Hoops.
I'm not going against Jenny Hoops. You know that on the high school show. I used to always go with her at schools when we did the picks. There's no way I'm going against Virginia in the ACC championship. Give me Virginia, big. Paul.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to sweep the board again. Let's go Cavaliers.
And let's pick the Big Ten one. Number 1 versus number 2. Like Kurt said, it might be a little watered down because both these teams should have the bye. I don't think they should get penalized being number 1 and number 2 team going up against each other. So let's pick it. I'm going to take Ohio State. I think Ohio State is shown they're the number 1 team, and I think they're going to take a high-scoring game, and I think they solidify the 1 seed going in. Indiana will be the 4 seed. Kurt.
You know what? And this sounds crazy, right? Because they're your defending national champs. But this guy, man, is on thin ice with everything he does. I mean, listen, they win another national, but hey, you weren't Big Ten champions. I mean, they might want Ryan Day out, right? Like, these people are after him. So I think the more he could win, anytime he could win is good. So I'm going to I think Ohio State wins. Plus, I think they're a better team, like you said.
Yeah. Heisman Trophy watch for both of those 2 quarterbacks, too.
Yeah.
Paul, who are you going with in this championship game?
Yeah, I mean, I've read some things where they said legitimately Indiana has a chance against Ohio State. But I'm going to sweep the board again with you guys. We're all thinking the same way, and I'm going to go with Ohio State.
Nice. Kurt, want to give us some final thoughts? I know you got some stuff going on. You have nice
Yeah,
stuff to call in.
my final thoughts, guys. Listen, 10-2. I'm ready to go. Just let's go. I just cannot wait. This defense, Bo Nix, most clutch quarterback in football, best defense in football. I'm ready to go. Auburn, new coach, like it. They kept Durkin as the DC. Johnny's struggling a little, but it's early. But listen, news of the day, Paul, Kenny, you got to go get him. I don't want to hear, but I can't give up Deuce McBride. Listen, I will personally take Deuce McBride and drive him to Milwaukee. Sorry, anybody but Brunson. There you go. Wait, Paul, am I wrong?
No. I mean, it's funny. I read that article also. I saw something a little earlier this evening, and I thought about you, Kurt, because I said, "Oh my God, that dream may become a reality." So yeah, you're right on.
Kenny, you?
I'm all in. I'm all in. I want a championship, baby. Let's go.
You got to do it. Listen, it'll hurt with some of those guys, but listen, I could tell you right now they're probably not. Listen, we're not the favorites to win the whole thing now. So you know what? Go become the favorites. Go get the best player in the league and go get it done.
Yep. All right, Kurt. Don't sign off. We'll sign you
I'm
out.
not.
I
I'm
want to end
not.
the stream
Yeah,
like we did the
right.
last 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
You have a good night.
That's
Tell
true.
Bo and tell Jen we said hello, and we'll be
Yep.
pulling for her Virginia Cavaliers on Saturday. No, it's
Go Broncos, baby. Go Broncos.
All right, Kurt.
Have a
Say
good
hi.
one.
Broncos. See you later.
Thanks. Thanks for coming on.
The one and only Mr. Kurt Valenti.
Yeah.
His long
broke the
overdue
mold.
rants tonight. I love it.
Yeah, they broke the mold.
We got one of the long awaited rants from Mr. Valenti. So it was good.
Classic.
I'm glad it
classic
was Notre
Kurt.
Dame and not the Yankees or the Giants. I'm glad it was just on you tonight.
Aaron Judge.
I'm glad it was just after you tonight. That made my night.
That's all right. I'm a big boy. I can take it.
Yeah, but let's continue moving on, Paul. Anything else? College football? We said I'll do this real quick. Lane Kiffin goes to LSU.
Yeah.
It'd be something to talk about next week, and we'll think about how we want to approach it. But with a lot of coaches leaving in the middle of a playoffs or the middle of the bowl season, should it be allowed? We'll talk about that next week because that could be a fun little debate as well.
I have some information that I was reviewing about Lane Kiffin, so maybe next week we can.
We'll do that next week. Yeah. Michael's hoping for an upset with Indiana over Ohio State. So am I. I just think, don't be surprised if you do see it, and then Ohio State gets the better of them in the playoffs. But I'm hoping for that upset too. Might be interesting if we get to see them play a second time in the playoffs. Being the 1 and the 4 seed or the 1 and the 3 seed, they may see each other again. So that'd be pretty interesting to see if they get to play each other a second time. But I'm ready to switch gears to NFL if you are.
Yep. Let's
do
it.
First one I got for everybody to play along with is the race to the 1 seeds. We got the AFC and we got the NFC, and we got Kurt, we got Graham backstage. We got a few Bronco fans with us. Let's do the AFC first, Paul. And the Patriots and the Broncos are fighting for the 1 seed. So I'm going to give you the Broncos schedule, and you just tell me win or loss, and then we'll do the Patriots as well, and we'll see who gets that 1 seed. Tiebreaker is going to go to the Patriots. Broncos home away at the Raiders Sunday.
Win.
I'm with you. Win, and everybody else can play along too. Home against the Packers.
Home against the Packers. I'm going to say loss. The Packers need that game.
I'm going to say win. Broncos have been solid at home. I'm still not sold on the Packers. That's just me. So I'm going to go win. Jaguars home.
Win.
Florida's tough to play in Denver, a Florida warm weather team coming in. I'm with you. Win. At the Chiefs.
That could be the Chiefs' season. I'm going to say loss.
respectfully going to say loss as well there. And they finished the season at home versus the Chargers.
That could be the Chargers playoff game. I'm going to say that's going to be a loss for the Broncos.
I'm going to say win because the
Okay.
Chargers, I think, will be in the wild card, and they're going to be the ones resting players because they don't need the seeding. As the Broncos are going to need it. So you had three losses out of 5 for the Broncos, and finishing. I got 4-1. So we're on different spectrums there. Patriots bye this week, so they only got 4 games.
Right.
Home against the Bills.
I think the Bills are going to come back and beat them. I'm
I
going to give them a
agree.
loss.
I don't think the Bills are going to lose twice to New England. I think
No.
this could have been the worst spot for the Patriots to have their bye.
Yeah.
With that momentum that they've had. And I've just looked at their schedule, and besides the Giants, they beat the Browns, they beat the Titans, they beat
Yeah.
all the
Right.
bottom
Right.
feeders in the NFL. They get to come back off their bye at home against the Bills. We both got them with a loss. At Ravens.
I think that could be another loss. I think the Ravens are fighting for their playoff lives, not just to win the division, but for the playoffs as a whole. So I'm going to say that's going to be a loss
And
for the
I'm with you.
Patriots.
Ravens are going to be. We're going to get into the schedule in a minute, but Ravens have games they need to win, and this is going to be one of them.
Hmm.
Then they get there at MetLife to face the Jets.
Win.
Win, but the Jets usually play tough. But I'm with you. I think it'll be a win that late in the season, and then they get a home game, and the schedule makers weren't kind to Miami. Miami gets to go up to New England week 18.
Yeah. That's going to be a win for the Patriots.
I'm with you. So you have the Patriots as the 1 seed. I have the Broncos getting the 1 seed. So we'll
Okay.
see who's right.
Yeah.
Let's do the NFC really quick. We got 3 teams we got to talk about. Right now, the Bears have the 1 seed and control their destiny, but the Rams and Seahawks, 3 losses. So let's do the Bears first.
Okay.
At Green Bay this week.
Loss.
I'm with you. I'm going to go loss. Browns at home.
Win.
Win. I agree. Packers at home.
Win.
I'm with you. They get the split. At San Francisco.
Loss.
I'm with you. Home versus the Lions. Could be a huge game for the Lions.
Yeah. I'm going to say loss to the Lions. That could be the Lions playoff need game.
I'm with you. And that puts us both with 6 losses for the Bears. Let's go to the Seahawks, who also have 3 losses, but they are technically behind the Rams right now. At Atlanta.
Win.
Win. Home versus the Colts.
I'm going to say win.
Yeah, that's a tough place to win, I believe, as well. Big one in a couple weeks. They get the Rams at home.
I'm going to say the Rams win that game.
I'll say the Rams. I'm going to say they beat the Rams. I'm going to tough place in December, the 12th man. I'm going to go win. You're going to go loss. At
Yeah.
Panthers.
I'm sorry, who was the team?
Carolina.
Carolina, boy. Coming across country. I'm going to say loss. I think the Panthers could be fighting for a playoff position. So I'm going to say that's going to be a loss for Seattle.
They've been a Jekyll and Hyde team. I'm going loss as well. So that's going to be a tough place in
Yeah.
December. And then they finish the season at San Francisco.
If it was in Seattle, I'd say a win. I'm going to go with a loss for them at San Francisco.
The only reason I'm going to say win is the same reason I went with the Broncos beating the Chargers. 49ers are going to be the wild card team with the 5 or 6 seed. It ain't going to mean anything for them. It's going to mean everything for Seattle. Brock Purdy and San Francisco rest a lot of players, I'll give the win to Seattle. So
Okay.
you have
Fair.
3 losses. I have 1 loss. Wow. I got them going 4-1. You got them going 2-3. Here it is, the Rams at Cardinals.
Win.
Home versus the Lions.
Sorry, Carson, a win.
Win. We picked the Seahawks, so I got them losing to the Seahawks. You got them beating the Seahawks at
Right.
Falcons.
What was that game?
Falcons
Falcons.
at Atlanta.
At Atlanta, win.
Win. Home versus the Cardinals in Week 17.
Another win.
Another win is right. So I got them at 4-1. You got them at 4-1. I'm sorry, you got them going. You got them sweeping. So we both got the Rams as the 1 seed in the NFC. You got the Patriots. I got the Broncos as the 1 seed in NFC. We'll see how well we do.
Okay.
But Michael's saying the Broncos will have the tiebreaker over the Patriots. What happens if the Broncos and Patriots are tied at the end of the NFL season? The Broncos are 6-0 against the AFC.
Yeah.
And the
That'll be
Patriots will
the-
be 5-1. Good friend Keith Brugman saying hello. Denver Bronco
Hello,
Roundup,
Keith.
Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Joey Clams said, "Don't bet against travel and field changes." Bro, Joey Clams in there.
Yeah.
And Glenn's going, the Rams will win the 1 seed, Bears, and then Seahawks will be behind them at 11-6. So
Okay.
it's going to be fun to see. That was
Yep.
a little race to the 1 seed. We'll keep an eye on that in the upcoming weeks. You know, Patriots and Broncos, and got 3 teams right now. You never know. 49ers have 4 losses, and Packers are sitting there with a tie
Yeah.
with 3
Yeah.
losses, and the Eagles 4 losses.
Yep.
You know, so and these teams may sneak in, so we may have some more fun with this as the season gets a little closer to the playoffs. But we got another one for everybody, Paul. Top 5 surprises and top 5 disappointments of this NFL year. And you're going to do the surprises, and I'm going to do the disappointments, and then I'll tell
No,
you
I
if
said
I got any-
I was going to do the disappointments. You were
You're
going
going
to
to do
do
disappointments. I'm going to do surprises. Sorry. Okay, so I'll go first then with the surprises.
Okay.
My number 5 surprise, the Denver Broncos. 10-2, fighting for the 1 seed. Yeah, Kurt was one that said the Chiefs are going to have a down year, but I didn't see it. I saw the Broncos being around a 10-win team. They're already at 10 wins. They might have the best defense in the NFL. They're going for an NFL sack record. They're finding ways to win in ways that I didn't think would be imaginable. The way they're doing it, they got something special going on. Number 5 surprise team, the Broncos. Number 4 is the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are currently in first place now with the tiebreaker over the Colts. Trevor Lawrence, Travis Hunter, the number 1 pick, goes down. They make a trade at the deadline for Jacoby Myers, who I feel is one of the most underrated wide receivers. Anthony Campanile, I got to give him a shout out, New Jersey native. His brothers are huge high school coaches in New Jersey and fighting for state playoffs, state titles every year. Anthony Campanile's defense is doing it there in Jacksonville. That's my number 4. Number 3, we talked about them, Jekyll and Hyde team, Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers are fighting. Who would have said this in December that Carolina could be in the playoffs? And hats off to Dave Canales over there doing a good job. They don't have many superstar names over there, but they're getting it done. Just beat the Rams. That's my number 3. And then number 2 is the current number 1 seeds in both conferences. I'm going to go with the Bears as the number 2 surprise team. And not by much. They're close to number 1. But Ben Johnson, the job he's doing over there, they're winning the same way they won with Detroit. 2-headed monster at running back, wide receiver, making the quarterback make some plays. And they're playing some defense now. That's my number 2 surprise. And number 1's obviously going to be the Patriots. I think you can't say they're not a surprise team, reeling in that many wins in a row. I don't care how weak your schedule is. They're doing it. I watched the physicality of that team against the Giants. That team is physical. And I can't believe I'm saying this. That's going to be a team to watch out for in the playoffs because of how physical they're playing. Those are my 5, Paul. I don't know if you have anybody else
I
different than I
had
have.
the only team I had that you didn't have was the Colts. I had them really playing well until recently, but I don't think anyone expected the Colts and of course our own Daniel Jones to be doing as well as they've had this year.
Yeah. Glenn played along. Glenn went with Broncos 5, Seahawks 4, good one. That is a good one. Jaguars 3, Packers 2, that's a good one too, and the Patriots number 1. Keith saying surprise, coaching matters, and New England and Drake May are just fine. And he's also saying Jackson Dart is more than an arm. Kid is running the entire offense out there. So those are
Thank you,
the
Keith.
surprises, and well said. And Broncos did sign a wide receiver today. Michael's telling us Elijah Moore got signed to the practice squad. So he was a highly touted Ole Miss receiver when he came out of college. So
Right. With the Jets, I think they
yeah.
drafted him
So
way
Paul's going to
back.
take the disappointments. I'm passing
All
over to
right.
you, Paul.
All right, thanks, Kenny. My number 5 disappointment has been the Steelers. They signed Aaron Rodgers, and you thought, okay, this is it. Uh, we'll go not just make the playoffs, but we'll have an opportunity to get back to the Super Bowl. Obviously, I think Aaron Rodgers is it will be one and done, and that's going to be it. And as Kenny said on our show the other night, the Pittsburgh fans are screaming for Mike Tomlin to be fired, and so there seems to be a lot of chaos in Pittsburgh. So this could be an interesting offseason in Steel City. My number 4, I'm going to surprise you, the Bills. We talked about up and down teams. They've been disappointment in the sense that they have not been as consistent as they've been in the past. Maybe we're spoiled by it that Josh Allen, the expectation is every week he's supposed to be playing at this high a level, but they just have not. So I think these next 4 games, the Bills will certainly make or break their season, with also an opportunity to beat the Patriots, as we indicated. My number 3, and again, Carson, I'm sorry, but the Lions have been a total disappointment. Again, give credit to Kenny. As he indicated, was it Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, or was it Campbell, who is the coaches that have decided this team? So they've been up and down all season as well. Probably should have lost to the Giants, did not. Lucky they won that game, but there have been a few other games that they have not won that they probably should have. Lost last week on Thanksgiving as well. My number 2 is the Washington Commanders. A lot was expected of Washington. Of course, they've had a lot of injuries. Jaden Daniels has been injured for a good part of the year. But that being said, they've been a total disappointment. I think they're 3-9 at this point in the year. And they just haven't played anywhere near they did last year with the Cinderella team that they had. And my number 1 is, you've heard me say it time and again, when you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they have a fighting chance. But hey, they have been a total disappointment. Again, they have not won games that they have in the past. There's been a disconnect with Patrick Mahomes and his receivers. Travis Kelce looks like he's already married, and his head is somewhere else. And the defense just hasn't been as good as they have in the past. So my number 1 disappointing team is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well done, Paul. I will give you a couple of different ones that I had, but I want to. Graham was saying we almost lost to the Mariota-led Commanders. That was nerve-wracking.
Right.
Glenn's given us his disappointments. Number 5, the Lions. Number 4, the Chiefs, even though he predicted them to finish below us. 3 is the Falcons. 2 is Buffalo. And number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. Peter Johnson throwing the biggest disappointment to me is the Bengals. I have the Bengals on my top 5 at 5. The 2 I had with you, Chiefs were number 1, and the Lions at number 3. So I'll just give you my other 3 real quick. Oh, and I had
Yeah.
Commanders at number 4. Bengals hit my list at 5 because even though they lost Joe Burrow, they signed the veteran in Joe Flacco, and their defense was, if it wasn't for the Giants' defense, historically bad. You know, you talk about the worst defense in the AFC, I'll give it to the Bengals. And when you got a stud like Henriksen, you shouldn't be that bad. So they're number 5. Number 2, I'm surprised you left this team off the list, the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
Last year, 15-2.
Yeah.
This year, struggling 4-8. JJ McCarthy looking like me could be a bust. And Keith's disappointment, JJ McCarthy. Kid just wins, not no more. He doesn't win anymore, is what he's saying. And also another disappointment from Keith was Geno Smith led Vegas Raiders. Pete Carroll's not enough over there to get it done.
Good picks. Good
Good list.
selections.
Good list, everybody. I like that. This was a year, and I wanted to do this tonight, Paul, because it's been a year that I can never remember this many surprises and disappointments. You know. We left our Giants off because, hey, we weren't supposed to be good, but we could have put them easily in the top 5 disappointments because of the season we had.
Totally.
But we talked about the Giants enough on Monday. So
Yeah.
but there's a lot of other surprises and disappointments in this league this year. And it's going to be fun when playoffs come around to see some of these surprise teams. But, yeah, so we got a couple minutes left, Paul. We're just at the hour mark now. Real quick question. Is there any team currently not in the playoffs that you think will make the playoffs? And if so, who are they going to replace?
As crazy as this sounds, the way they've been playing recently, how about them Cowboys? I think they have an opportunity. As sick as it makes me feel, but they have an opportunity to get in to the playoffs. I mean, they're on all cylinders. They're playing well. The defense has come back to where they were almost historically bad earlier in the year. Maybe it took a while for Brian Schottenheimer to sort of, get in the flow, but they've been playing well. I have to give them credit, and it would not shock me if they made the playoffs.
It wouldn't shock me neither. Lesser of two evils. Win the
Yeah.
division. We'll do that next week. Cowboys versus Eagles schedule. We'll see if we can maybe get the Cowboys lesser of two evils
Sounds good.
over the Eagles. I'm with Peter. Texans are going to replace the Colts. This team is playing defense. I think we're gonna pick some games in a second, but I think they're going to replace the Colts as well. Glenn and Patrick wanted to know, are the Giants bringing in a kicker? I know. And Glenn saying, just sign Kenny Kirkpatrick to do the kicking.
I was just about to say, Kenny, suit up.
Yep. So games of the week, Paul. We got some good ones.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good week. So I got 6 for us to pick, and we'll do that, and then we'll get our final thoughts in. Thursday night, tomorrow night, 2 teams. This is a must-win for both teams if they want to get into the playoffs, in my opinion. And it's Dallas traveling to Carson. It's Detroit Lions. The spread, we're not going to pick with the spreads, but the spread is Lions at home -3. I'm on Ross St. Brown, still questionable. We don't know if he's going to play.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, so you read my mind. Listen, he's their go-to receiver. Laporta's not there. He may not be there. Obviously, they'll rely a lot on the running game, but I don't. It may not be enough. I think I'm going to go with the Cowboys. As crazy as that sounds,
it's not crazy, and love to get Carson on soon. By the way, Carson's doing a Pistons game tonight. That's why he's not on tonight. He does play-by-play on his channel, The Carson Shear Show. Does an amazing job doing play-by-play on his YouTube channel over there. Go check him out. I can't believe I'm saying it too, Paul. Quinnen Williams has been a big difference in this defense. They're not a top 10 defense, but now they're top 20. They're not at the bottom anymore with this one player. And I'm on Ross St. Brown. Even if he plays, I think it's going to hurt them that he's not going to be at 100%. Cowboys are going to come away with this win and, and get close to scaring the Eagles a little bit coming down the stretch here. But Carson, I hope I'm wrong. I want your Lions to win. if we root for you, we know how hard it's been being a Lions fan through the years too. So we root for you when our Giants aren't there. So let's hope we're wrong. AFC South matchup, Paul. This is for first place. Indianapolis Colts traveling to Jacksonville. Colts surprisingly a tiny little 1.5 point favorite in this one.
Interesting. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars only because I watched a little of the Colts game the other day, and I think Daniel Jones's broken tibia is affecting him more than they're letting on, and I think there's concern that he's not playing because of his injury as well as he had in the last, in the beginning of the season. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville at home.
I'm with you. Grass field over there, dome team going out to the elements in Florida. I'm not. It's going to be warm, but it ain't going to be extremely hot. But Anthony Campanile and that Jaguars defense, I'll be rooting for him. New Jersey native, ties to the high school show, and let's hope they can get it done. I think Trevor Lawrence is doing enough. I think he'll do more, and Anthony Campanile is going to try and stop Jonathan Taylor in this one. And if they do, I think the Jaguars get the win, and the Colts start falling back down to earth a little bit. Talk about another. I'm telling you, this should be week 7. This should be the last week of the season, and because look at this game
Good
right
matchups.
here: Pittsburgh Steelers at Baltimore for first place in the AFC North.
Yeah.
We got the Ravens at -6 in this one.
Listen, both these coaches need this win so badly. And the idea that we're talking that two coaches for these teams who have been there for years and years might be out after the season. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think at this point they have more to lose than the Steelers. And if it was in Pittsburgh, I'd say maybe I'd go with the Steelers, but I'm going to go with the Ravens at home.
Peter has a hot take. The Colts won't win another game. My hot take is the Steelers won't win another game. Old team is starting to show. It didn't work last year with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Russell Wilson, older quarterback, fading towards the end of the season. Aaron Rodgers is starting to fade. And, I think the Steelers made a mistake by not drafting a quarterback, because it failed with Kenny Pickett doesn't mean you don't go get another quarterback. They had an opportunity last year with all the quarterbacks that came out last year to go get a quarterback, and they chose not to. Ravens win this game convincingly, and it's going to be ironic that Mike Tomlin's first losing season is going to be with a Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers.
Kenny, I don't know if you saw this, but Ben Roethlisberger came out and even said maybe it's time that Mike Tomlin and the Steelers separate. So interesting.
I saw that. Eddie Murphy saying hello. Glenn's got the Jaguars over the Colts. Same reason. Jones is not the same since his injury. And then Rodgers and Adam Thielen will be good together. He's spewing Denver to take Adam Thielen, another older wide receiver there. I think they're getting a little desperate now in Pittsburgh. I think Baltimore has a solid game. And then comes another good matchup, Paul. NFC North, first place on the line here. Chicago Bears at Green Bay, 6.5 Packers. We picked this game actually with the schedule, but just
I picked the Packers. I'm gonna say the Packers again at home.
I'm gonna take the Bears. They're finding magical ways to win, and I think they get it done. 6.5, the Packers favored in this one, but Ben Johnson doing some good things over there, and I think they'll find a way. Sunday night, big one. Houston Texans. This is for wild card. The loser here may definitely be out. Houston Texans still got a shot for the division at Kansas City. National televised game. Chiefs are 3.5 point favorite in this one.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna live by Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I'm gonna die by them. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. This is talk about must wins. Obviously, the Chiefs haven't been in this situation in a long, long time, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs Sunday night at home and hope that they come out with a win.
Glenn's going Packers, and Sharon's saying hello, Paul and
Hey,
Kenny. Hi,
Sharon.
Sharon. Hope all's well. Uh, go Texans. She's saying that she wants the Chiefs out. I'm gonna.
Sure.
Why not? Why not? I like what I'm seeing from this Texans defense. Uh, I think the Texans will go in there and play a solid game. I'm not sold on this Kansas City Chiefs offense. Stop Rasheed Rice and let somebody else beat you. Give me the Texans. Why not? Let's get the Chiefs out of those playoffs. 6-7, and they've had a nice run. So time for them to hang the shoes up and call it a day. Uh, and Peter saying Texans put the final nail in the coffin. Bury those Chiefs.
Mm.
And Glenn saying Kansas City, keep breathing so we can bust them out on Christmas with a sack party in Arrowhead. That's right, Christmas game. In the last game, Paul, an NFC AFC matchup, struggling Philadelphia Eagles. And I say struggling, they're a 9-4 team. We're struggling, but imagine that. Traveling to another team that's hurt a little bit, and that's the LA Chargers. Eagles are favored by 3 on Monday Night Football.
Just when you think that they are primed to lose, they come back, and this is the perfect kind of game that they wind up winning. Chargers need this game, obviously, to stay close to the Broncos, but somehow these are the games the Eagles somehow come away with a win. So it's going to be a close game, but I'm gonna pick Philadelphia.
I'm going to have to pick Philadelphia too for the many reasons you said. Herbert's banged up, but this is going to be one of them games they're away from home, and sometimes being away from Philadelphia is the best recipe for success because that's a hard place to play when you're struggling. So if they were home, I might go Chargers, but because they're in LA and there's not many Chargers fans out there, you may see a bunch of Eagle fans in the stands as well. I'm going to take the Eagles on Monday Night Football convincingly by about a touchdown. So there's our picks, Paul. Anything else, NFL, before we call it a night and we get some final thoughts in?
No, I think we covered head to toe NFL this week.
And college as well.
Hmm.
I'll go first, and I'll give you the final thoughts, final word of the night. Uh, Graham, thank you backstage. Great job. I think he got signed off for a couple seconds there, but Graham, thank you for everything backstage. Uh, Thank everybody in the audience. Thank Kurt Valenti for coming on for a few minutes with us. We got the rant we've been waiting for, and we got it. Thanks to Paul's Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But it was a fun show. I want to thank everybody. Thanksgiving's over. It's Christmas season now. Shopping's coming around. I know it'll be here before you know it. We'll be back next week. More NFL, more college football, and anything else. If baseball, basketball news breaks out, we'll talk about that too. But thank you, everybody. I hope you have a good night. Paul, final words are yours, my friend.
Thank you, my brother from another. Always a pleasure. Great show tonight, Kenny. Hey, uh, Graham, thank you so much. You're always so kind, and we appreciate all the help. Thank you, everybody out there. Appreciate all the questions, the comments. We always say it's because you guys are out there that we love doing this for you week after week. As Kenny said, we're getting into the holiday season now. Thanksgiving is beyond us, and looking forward to cold weather, a little hot chocolate every once in a while, and you know what? Before we know it, we'll have the holiday here and New Year's. So let's look forward to that over the next few weeks.
Absolutely. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see everybody Monday for New York Giants football talk, and
Good night.
Wednesday, K